Hello everybody. Today we're going to try and amalgamate two areas of the curriculum. We're going to try and do art and we're going to try and do mathematics as well. Some people think, well, art's one kind of subject, mathematics is another kind of subject, and they're nowhere near each other. But actually everything that we do all joins up into the one system. And if you're working as an artist with a creative mind, if you're a mathematician working, you will also need a creative mind. No one can solve problems without a creative mind. You have to be able to think outside what other people think. You have to be able to think outside your own thinking, look for ideas and find ways of solving problems and recording them as well. So we're going to amalgamate our art and our mathematics, and we're going to try and be creative about both those things. So the idea is that I will set for you a problem, I will give you a brief, I will speak it, I'm not going to write it up here, and then I will do some demonstrations to start you off, to get you going, and see what happens. I don't know the answer to the question of the problem, and it doesn't really matter. The important thing is how we work around it and how our minds are working as we are doing. Okay, our little investigation is called caterpillars. And we're going to see if we can make mathematical caterpillars using our skills that we've identified over here. So this is the caterpillar's head. And we'll start off with 27. The first thing you say is the odd or even number. Well, I look at the 7, the units digit. Can 7 be directly divided in half? No, it can't. So if it's an odd number, I have to add 1. 28. 28 is odd or even? Well, it must be even now because they've added 1 to the 7. 8 can be divided directly in half. So half of 28 is, half of 20 is 10, half of 8 is 4. Can I have 14? Well, you probably already know that 7 and 7 is 14. So I get 7 here. 7 is odd or even? It must be odd. I can't directly, it's not in the 2 times tables, I can't direct it in half. Add 1. 8. 8, half of 8, as you know, is 4. Half of 4 is 2, and half of 2 is 1. Okay, so there's your first caterpillar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 segments. So that's quite a long one. Let's try another one. Let's do a even number. We look at this digit for the even number. 8 is even because 4 and 4 is 8. So half of 50 is 25. Half of 8 is 4. So 25 and 4 is 29. 29 odd or even? 9 is not divisible by 2 equally, so I have to add 1. Half of 30, you probably know that half of 30 is 15. It's 15 odd or even. 5 is not divisible by 2 evenly, so I've got to add 1. Half of 16, 8 and 8 is 16, I know that. Half of 8 is 4, half of 4 is 2, half of 2 is 1. And you've got another caterpillar, and you can see this one's even longer. So you might be saying to yourself, well, I wonder, do even 2-digit even numbers make longer caterpillars than odd 2-digit numbers? So that might be an investigation you could carry out, see if you can prove that or come to some kind of general statement about it. You can cut these out of paper if you wanted to and stick them on something, make them look really nice. You could make little dough balls and make a caterpillar that way. Some people have caterpillar toys at home. You could stick numbers, paper numbers to it. So that's our first investigation. You can go on to 3-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers, 5-digit numbers. The sky's the limit really, and see if you can come up with a general idea. Now let's say, okay, Mrs. Sides did caterpillars. I'm going to do something else. What else comes in a line, makes a line? Well, I could have a go, I could make these little houses here. Okay, first house, you could make them really intricate, give them chimneys and things and windows and whatnot. So this one I'm going to make, let's do a 3-digit number, 125. So I've got 125 to start off with. Is it odd or even? It's odd because 5 is an odd number, so I've got to add 1, 126. I can divide that in half. Half of 100 is 50, half of 20 is 10, that's 60. and half of 6 is 3, so that's 63. 63 is odd, add 1. 64 is even now, so half of 60 is 30, half of 4 is 2. Odd or even, it's an even number, I've got a 2 here. Half of 30 is 15, half of 2 is 1 is 16. Half of 16, 8 and 8 is 16. Half of 8 is 4, half of 4 is 2, half of 2 is 1. So you've got a nice little street of houses there. It's a 3-digit number, but it's not necessarily that much longer than the 2-digit numbers. So there's something you could look into as well. What's the difference between 2-digit lines and 3-digit lines? So I'm going to ask you just to use your imagination now. See what you can come up with. I would really love to see what you've done. So if you can take a little photograph of your drawing as you go along. If you do it on paper, you have a record of what you're doing. I'm just demonstrating this so I can rub it off. But if you're proving something, you need to record it so that you can talk to somebody about it at the end. And maybe if you've got somebody in your house, you could ask them, would they like to listen to you explain it? That'd be really, really great. Well done.